Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another edition of On the Mic with Mike. My name is Mike Larkin, and joining me today is artist, is dominatrix, is humiliatrix, and just an overall excellent content creator, the one, the only Miss Skandoll, aka Bombshell Bamboozle. How are you?
Oh, doing good, doing good. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. First and foremost, folks, if you have not checked out her work on Twitter and Instagram, you really do showcase internal and external beauty along with that voluptuosity factor and sensuality that goes within your content. I got to say, first and foremost, I do enjoy what I see, and I got to say, you do put out a lot of quality content.
Thank you. I agree. I totally agree. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's been the goal.
Well, you were very welcome. I got to say, what I love about it too, as well, is, and we'll just start it off right here from the dominatrix side of things. I mean, it's an art form, it's a craft. We get to see a lot of people's different preferences and different, just their overall uniqueness of what they like, and really people opening up their horizons and expanding their horizons, if you will. So, it
Yeah.
kind of really gravitated you towards the dominatrix side of things.
Mhm. Are you asking how I did?
Yeah, how did you kind of gravitate towards the dominatrix side of things?
Um, so I was introduced to it by like a lifestyle pro dom in person a long, long time. It was like 11 years ago, until 2012. But she introduced me to it, and I just fell into it naturally. I feel like it's just so much of me, of who I am and what I'm built to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like it was easy. It was natural for me to be on the more dominant side of the spectrum, I would say, and BDSM in general.
I gotta say, what I do dig about it too, as well, is there's so many different avenues to really go into with dominatrix. I mean, people talk about whips, chains, balls, and gags, and everything that goes in. But what's interesting about it too is we talk about kinks and just what everybody's into. People don't really know it, not only until they try it, but also at the same time, it's refreshing, it's fun. But I think at the end of the day, with how you really equate everything into life, that's the main thing about it, is you have to have fun with it. And also, you've been doing a lot of great customs and dom sessions with the likes of Temptress True and Sassy and Thick Lily. There's a lot of people that love that different variety from clientele wise and really who you work with to be your simp or what have you. So there's a lot that goes into it from the storytelling aspect and the overall art form that it is.
Right. I totally agree. And to be clear, um, I haven't seen Temptress True in so long. It's been a really long time since I've worked with her. I spend more time with Kelly Cash. She goes on Twitter. It's Luxury Cash Baby, and then Sassy and Thick Lily. We just ruin men on the internet. We just ruin them, and it's so much fun.
I got what I love about it too, as well, is, and I look at the personalities, and you mentioned being that Dom personality, we all
Mhm.
find what we really do within our content creation. And besides having the market and just the overall area that people can gravitate towards, I think a lot of people really are starting to find what kind of used to be considered as taboo, and it's kind of had that overall think about it, like very freakness, if you will, letting the freak flag fire, if you will. I think as we are going into the year 2024, to compare to what we had in the 90s to the 2000s, even into the mid 2000s, people are really starting to, really admit what they like and really open up and broaden themselves. And it's really great to see because we get to meet amazing people like yourself and see what they do. So it's really a great area for people to find out what they like and really, explore what they're into.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I remember when I started doing dominatrixing online, it was so taboo even then. And like I started doing dominatrixing on the internet with Yahoo Messenger. Like I wish that I could log into my Yahoo Messenger this like to this day and see the message. I bet they'd be crazy. And like it really drives me crazy that I can't do that because I'd love to see like the old messages I would send as like a younger dom, but they're more less experienced dom, but like it's changed from the time I started to now. It's completely different, like completely, because now it's like you meet people in general society now, and they literally ask you, they're like, "Are you an OnlyFans girl? Like, are you a content creator?" Like, and I'm like, hold up, put some respect on my OnlyFans link, okay? Because I've been doing this shit forever, like forever. So like it's so normalized now that it's like my stuff isn't even as how would I describe it? Striking to people anymore. I tell people like, yeah, I basically, to keep it really basic, like I control and make fun of men on the internet and they send me money because I'm hot. And they're just like, yeah, that makes sense. And back in the day they would have been like, you're going to hell. Now they're like, okay, that makes sense. It's totally different now. It's totally different.
I think you said something that's very apparent and operative there. I think what people need to realize is the mindset of everything at the end of the day, it's a business and you're here to accumulate money. And while you're also, we also talk about the fun aspect and the performance and the entertainment value, at the end of the
Hmm.
day, it's a business. And I mean, for what you're saying, like back in the day, like people would say go to hell. But at the same time, in today's generalized society, we talk about openness. I think you have to realize with how you can accumulate money with OnlyFans. And I got to say, folks, for those who have not checked out this one's OnlyFans over here, a lot of great content, and a lot of great. What I got to say about it is, it's a great community to interact with fans. It's a great interaction with overall community in general. We're in a great time of just people with the content creators and just the overall central vibes to it, because that's what
Hmm.
OnlyFans is. But also at the same time, it's a community. You have to have that united, not divided community front, but also being the same business tactics as well, in the one same vein, if you will.
It's fascinating. I find it fascinating, the entire thing.
Oh, agreed. And I got to say, for what you also have been putting out there, I mean, for those who've not seen, you as well have just been showcasing your stuff from the sensuality things. There's been some clips of you in the bathtub. There's been clips of you just in general showcasing it. And I got to say, first and foremost, internal and external beauty comes from so many different layers and so many different facets of life and different fashions. I think the
Right.
sensuality and the voluptuosity factor that goes into a woman represents the overall art and foundation. And I got to say, you have really honed into that and really showcased what you were about.
I know, right? I mean, thank you. Just kidding. No, I literally live for, I feel so blessed and so lucky because I just like, am just like, I feel like I'm like a walking, like, sex idol or something. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. I'm so voluptuous and it's so natural to me and it's powerful. It's truly powerful, to be honest. It's in every aspect. It's so powerful.
You have to think of it like of an empowering kind of thing, like you mentioned there. It's one of those things that really sticks out because at the end of the day, what it takes a lot of body confidence and it takes a lot of confidence to get in front of a camera and really just show what you're about and be confident. And what I admire about you too as well is I think a lot of people can see that with your stuff. And not only do you start from where you are, but it just continues of the overall journey that you're looking to take with what you do as a dominatrix, humiliatrix, and all of that. Besides the fact that there's a community, I think you also learn about yourself and just continue to adapt and grow like we all do and really just apply and hone our crafts. So, I mean, you have to look at it from a stance too as well. I think what you're doing has that gravitational pull. And if you could
Mhm.
pull people in, you're golden, man. So I have to say, from that standpoint, you are truly golden.
You guys have, and you guys haven't seen anything yet. Like, some of the songs that I have recorded in my phone, like, I discuss, like, I talk about it within the music. I talk about dominatrixing. I talk about like the basic principles of what I truly believe and what I've truly lived and experienced. Like, I have some serious details in there, and the real ones know. And when they hear it, they're gonna be like, "Damn." Um, I got one called "Mind Your Grind," and it goes like, "If you see me online and we're familiar in real life, I'll tell you one time it's my business. Mind your grind." And like, you're gonna see me, like how they say, like, if you see me with an old man in public, mind your business. If you see me online, mind your business. Like, so like I kind of influence, my dominatrix has career has definitely influenced the music and will continue to do so. And like you said, it's going to bring more people into the scene. It's going to bring, and I want it to bring the right people for the right reasons as well. But still,
Oh, agreed. And everybody has a story to tell. For those who have not checked out your music, such as Sex Sellout, Low Key Hate, Bonnie Clyde, Wish a Bitch Woods, and Simp for Me, like a lot of that really goes into, like you mentioned, not just the dominatrix stuff. But what I dig about it is, too, you also talk about really represent you as a whole, what you've been through, your experiences, because that's what makes the great type of music, authenticity and genuinity. And I
mm-hmm.
really dig not just the beat and the vibe to it, but the message is just there. I mean, it just shows that you're a family person. It shows what you're about. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's the best way to go with it. And I think it really does have a nice flow. And I personally cannot wait to hear what other music you got coming.
Bet. Yeah, you seem like you're a big fan. I love that for me. I love that for you too, because I know what you haven't heard, and I can tell by what you're saying and the specific things that you're noting. Like, that's exactly what I want to represent. That's exactly how I want to be perceived. So it's refreshing to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, appreciate it.
No, you're very welcome. I think the name Skandoll actually absolutely works just because I like the fact that it plays off scandal and scandalous, like stuff like that. You have to have not just from a marketing standpoint, just a great name and entertainment wise, but I think a lot of people can really deal with. I mean, you look at it in everyday life. There's always a scandal going, and Scandal also represents the sexiness vibe, like we mentioned earlier. But it's
Mhm.
something that can relate to the people, and I think if you have that character, which again you have, but it's you with the volume turned up, you have to do that. I think if you could play the right character and just be you, we mentioned authenticity and genuinity, it works. But also at the same time, man, it's just like, all right, this is me. Here I am. I'm blunt. I'm honest. Bitch, let's
Don't
go.
give a
You
fuck.
know?
Yeah, yeah. um, the Scandal name, like, it has like a bunch of different influences and why it came about. But I wanted something that sounded sexy but sounded bad. That sounded something that was bad, but had like a level of like irony. I like that. Like, because I'm not scandalous person, but we can get scandalous is the whole fucking point. That was originally I started with scandalous, but I figured anyone could be scandalous, but not everyone can be me. So I'm just gonna be Scandal, the one, the one. So like it's also a reference to pinup dolls. I love the 50s style of modeling and that like that aspect in general. I love like rockabilly, like everything in that community and style. And then on top of it, like there's people. I have people in my family who it's like K is like we use the letter K for their names instead of a C. So like it's a piece of that. And then there's also a Tupac song called Scandalous, and Tupac's my favorite rapper. So it's like a bunch of influence into it. I'm really into like the 1920s, 1930s look. I feel like I'm going to eventually kind of just steer along with that style and bring that out a lot. And I feel like Scandal's perfect for like that era. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely agree. I mean, you look in the
Mm.
30s with Old Blue Eyes and what Frank Sinatra's done, and so many great people that came up through the 20s and the 30s. I mean, you look at going into the wars, like back in the day, you had the Andrews sisters with the Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy of Company B and
I
stuff
don't.
that.
I've never heard that. I'll have to
Okay,
listen.
you have to check it out. So for those who've not seen it, so if you go like the 30s and 40s, like in the old Abbott and Costello movies, like that
Yeah.
was very much featured in the Buck Privates. It's definitely worth the listen. And I got to tell you,
Okay.
it was actually sampled in, if for those who remember Christina Aguilera's Candyman song, it's actually featured in that. It's like a
Oh.
sample of it. Yep,
Okay.
that's where the sample comes from.
I love. I know like most of the words of the entire album. Like I
Okay.
love that style so much. I can't even explain it. Like the song I just wrote about 6 days ago is called "Flaunt It." But there's a lyric in it where I talk about the Great Gatsby. I say like, I say something about being Gatsby, and I said, "There's a party at my place. I'm glad you came." I said, "Drink the pussy juice. It's laced." Okay, it's good. And the beat, my friend made it that night, and we recorded it that night, and it's perfect.
Hey, if you can find something that really applies to history and what F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote, I mean, you really can't go wrong. But also having your flavor to it, I dig it. I like your style. But
And
no,
the his wife, like, if you've ever like looked up, I think is it Ella Fitzgerald, his
no,
wife?
yes.
Yeah, she's like incredible, and she reminds me of myself. But like they had like it was almost like they had like a comp. From what I understand, it's like a competition between them because they're very similar artists. And like I feel like she didn't. She was more perceived as a socialite when she was really just an artist. But back in the day, she's probably like pushed down because of the stance on femininity and stuff. So.
I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've seen like you mentioned the 20s and 30s, and even to the 90s with Tupac, God rest his soul, with songs
Mhm,
like "Dear Mama" and "Brenda's Got a Baby," and you know what I'm saying, like "Keep Your
mhm,
Head Up," and you know,
mhm,
I Get Around and California Love. I mean, we'll be here all day with the classics of Tupac, but his style was very much verbal sparring mixed with poetry, and that
mhm.
really showcased within his work.
Yeah. Mhm.
Now, I got to ask you about Tupac here, just because we talk about East Coast, West Coast rap. What are some of your favorite Tupac songs? I know I just listed a lot there of the genre, but what are some of the Tupac songs that really stick out for you?
Keep Your Head Up was one of the ones that I really, really connected with. My favorite Tupac song is Run the Streets. I literally wrote the female artist. She's not a big artist, but she's in that song. Her name is Storm. And I wrote her on Instagram. Like, eventually, these people are going to see these. It's going to be embarrassing, low key. I'll be simping. But my other favorite Tupac song is the first Tupac song I ever heard was "Shorty Wanna Be a Thug," and
Mhm.
I'm not kidding you. I was like 12 years old, and I had borrowed my little boyfriend's MP3 player, and like he was like a little gangster, whatever, a wingster, to be honest. But he let me use his MP3 player, and I was listening to it, and that song just came on. I started listening to it, and I'm like, I had never heard nothing like it. I was like, what the hell? But to be honest, like I am from the West Coast and I love the style. Like I deeply enjoy the sounds of the West Coast. That like that, that whine. Love it. I just love the West Coast. So no offense to any East Coast, but it's West Coast for me.
Hey, as an East Coaster, none taken, none taken. No,
I didn't know you're from the East Coast. Oh wait, I mean like you're an East Coast timing. I guess I could have put two and two together.
hey, it's not a bad deal. I listen to both. I mean, I grew up with the likes of Tupac and Coolio and all the great groups from the West Side and the West Coast, Snoop, Dre, and all the Death Row records. I mean, for God's sake, man, like I grew up on Tupac and the Outlaws. Baby, don't cry. Hope you got your head up, even when the road is hard. Never give up. Baby, don't cry. Like you have a lot of stuff that goes into what makes the song. Like we talk about the story and everything that people can relate to in this thing that we call life. But the sounds and just when you hear a West Coast track is pretty much the most
Mm-hmm.
important thing I can say to it.
I like artists from the West Coast. Like I like Sugar Free. You know what I'm saying? Oof, like that. It's almost like an underground. I don't. I feel like most of the time, only people from the West Coast know certain artists. Too Short. Like I like. I think Too Short. I think he's from the West Coast. I could be wrong, but I also like a lot of Chicano rap. Like that's like a low key bass. If you really know like the specific people that I'm talking about, you'll hear sometimes I intentionally use the cadences that they use in some of their songs, and it's because of what I'm saying. Like I've used uh he says, I'm trying to remember, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting pussy. And I say something in exactly like that, but it's a little bit different. So I use a lot of little influences throughout, like my music influences in my music, in my own music as well. But
No, I feel you. I mean, if you want to equate one that really does stick out, I'm going to say this since being the dominatrix that you're here, a keyword dominant. I mean, you're kind of like the West Side Connection. Bow down before I come to your town. A little Ice Cube, Mac 10, and Doug. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's fit.
yeah, yeah. I love it.
But
But
no, that's too. Like I dig your style because when you look at the rap game, man, I think a lot of people we talk about it from back in the day where people wanted, to censor stuff because all rap, all this stuff that's going on with it. I look at it from a stance too as well. Like when Biggie Smalls was talking about everything, much like Tupac, when you incorporate the words drugs, you're not just really promoting drugs, you're also kind of sending a message like, hey, here's what's out there. And you want to see like kids or what have you kind of steer away from that. But we kind of go away from what the message really is. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there is drugs and people do drugs, but at the same time, you're also kind of warranting the fact of, hey, this is what's out there. Let's not have our kids get involved in this. So there's a lot of messages between, like you mentioned, the cadences and everything
mhm.
that goes into the words and the overall initial message that people really don't realize.
Right, absolutely, exactly. um the it's kind of been interesting, like combining my artistry and my music with my dominatrix side, but they go hand in hand. Like it's crazy. I feel like if I didn't do the dominatrix scene, I probably wouldn't even have been confident enough to pursue the music in the way that I have now. I've done dominatrix scene for so long, and I'm so confident, so comfortable with myself and people looking at me and idolizing me, and me being in the public eye like that. So I feel like it makes it easier. Plus it makes me stronger. It makes you stronger. It makes you like mentally and emotionally stronger, I feel like, because I've built it up over time to really feel and understand that I am like strong, and I feel like in general probably more confident than most people, and it was developed because of dominatrix, I think partly.
I think that's wonderful because again, building the confidence up. I mean, if you build the confidence up and really show who you truly are and just show what you're about, I think that goes a long way. And I think what I like about it too, as well, is there's a sense of with what you put out there, with just your overall sensuality, there's a mix of elegance, sexiness, and just overall badassery. I mean, you got
Sorry.
Yep. I mean, you got the tats and everything that really just showcase an edge to it. And plus, who doesn't love a great tats with ink to mix with it? Just goes around with the overall story of the body being the canvas, so to speak. So I think there's
Mhm.
a lot of different layers to your foundation that really go hand in hand. But also at the same time, too, man, you really have to find your niche, so to speak, and find your place. And I got to say, I cannot wait to see where the journey goes for you. Because, like I said, from where you are right now, there's only one way but up.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Now, let's talk about, as I mentioned, the tattoos there. First and foremost, there's nothing more sexier than a woman with great ink and overall great artistry on the body, because the body is the temple and we're all telling stories within our tattoos and everything that we encompass within the overall art form that is tattooing. What are some of your favorite tattoos that you got on you? Because I got to say, you got a nice little ink work going on you.
Uh, um, my I don't know. I really like my neck tattoo here. It's like a rose, and then my chest tattoo, of course, because like it accentuates my tits. It's not done yet, but it will be soon. I just have to pick the right person to finish it because the other person that started it, I don't associate with anymore.
Understood.
So, and then I have this one on my leg, which is the RCA dog. You can see it. It's
Yep.
old. It's one of my favorites. Whew. Hold on, sorry. Ooh, I had a cough. Sorry.
No worries. I got to say, for what I love about it too is, as well as I think with anything that goes into the art of the tattoo, I think like we talk about with everybody has a story to tell within the art form, like we mentioned your music and everything. But what I
Mm-hmm.
love about the tattoo form is, I mean, some things you cover up, some things you don't. But at the end of the day, it also just does showcase the overall foundation. I got to say, I dig what you're putting on the tattoo wise. So that also leads to the fact that not only do we have the tattoos and the artistry, but you also do have the overall sense of just the trash talking, because we saw the interaction with you and Fiona Ryder on Twitter. I got to say, I hope you two do have a cat fight in the future and really get that overall scrap on, if you will, because that's another artistry in its own right, the combative side of things.
I agree. I agree. I know I've already spoken to her. We are supposed to like have more conversation about it. But like with the holidays and everything, everyone's busy. And then I know she's got a lot going on based on just what she's told me and what she's posting. Um, it's just not working out schedule wise yet. Also, this would be the first cat fight I've ever done. And so I'm kind of like strategic. So I literally will go and find as much of her content as possible. And I want to study her moves. So I know exactly what she's going to do. So that's what it's going to take longer because I want to do that. And I need to have time to do that among doing everything else I do, which is a lot.
I think what's great about it too, though, is you don't. They always say like busy is always good, because I mean, if you never stop grinding and you're just always busy, busy is a good thing. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. I think with you, it's a lot to handle, but I think you do the job very well. And I think anybody who does that and knows the grind and everything that goes into it, there's never a there's never a dull moment, but at the same time it's just the ups and downs of where we go in life and what we do within our crafts. So, I mean, if your next craft entails cat fighting, I can't wait to see when that does happen and you study with your punches and kicks and really get the overall general consensus of it. I can't wait to see that fight when it does happen.
I just I've never been in any official like wrestling in any way. It's always just been like spur of the moment. I had to defend myself type things. So like, but what I do know is that from what I was told, someone had seen me fight a man one time. So he was like attacking someone else, and I guess I hip tossed him. I didn't even know that was a thing. It was just natural to me. And so this guy that was there, he was like, that was the hottest thing I've ever seen in my life. I had also headbutt him, but I don't think we can do that in catfighting.
No, I don't think that is allowed. Much like with mixed martial arts, headbutting would cause a disqualification. But no, like first and foremost, like you mentioned, hip tossing is a big thing for takedowns and judo throws and everything to get someone off of them. I dig that. And I think that's just the overall instinct that you have. And I think instincts take over with any type of combative nature if you're being attacked or what have you. I think from the overall self-defense side of things, if that's one indication, I'm sure you're going to do very well after that. You're just channeling your anger, and as Bobby Boucher would say on The Waterboy, it's the tackling fuel, if you will.
You're not you quoting Waterboy right now. I literally was quoting Waterboy last night, and no one knows what I was fucking saying. And I was like, you guys suck.
Power
In
bomb.
case y'all were wondering, you suck.
Hey, power bomb, courtesy of Captain Anthano. Captain Anthano shows no mercy. I mean, how can you not?
I just hear his lisp when you say that. But Mhm.
I'm aquatic engineer. I am 31 years old. I was wondering if you need a personal water bottle. Yeah, like how can you not? Like it's a classic, one of the prime Adam Sandler movies.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
But that's how it goes, man. And I think what we get to see as well, what I love about the content too, as well, that you provide, besides the humiliations and dominatrix part of you, we mentioned the sexiness in the tub, but there's also something that goes into it. I gotta say, from your swag and everything that's on 100 there, you could just have the most beautiful imagery as well, like with all women, and just encompass that, and just overall a video of just swaying and just showcasing your body from that standpoint. I think it's the overall look, it's the overall swag, but also at the same time, as we always talk about sex sells, it goes hand in hand because with women being great athletes or women just being great from their artistry, which is a key operative word here in today's forum, I think if you we mentioned confidence, but if you have the right entail of just showcasing that sensuality that overall encompasses it, there's so many different things that men and women respectively find sexy, and I think a lot of people can really find that with whatever content that they produce, especially with OnlyFans. We talk about the community wise, there's something for everybody to accumulate money, and that was become a big thing, especially since the pandemic time. So I mean, it's really a great time for content creators, and it's a great time for people to just showcase the sensuality that goes into overall sex in itself.
Mm, that and like I've had giant tits my entire life. So
Mhm.
I've been not my entire life, but you know what I mean. I've
Yes.
been uh like I don't know, been uh what is the way that I would describe it? Recognized for it. That's I'm literally looking for that word. I would be like consistently recognized for that. So like no matter what I do and no matter what I'll ever do, I'm always going to be associated with having big giant tits. So I might as well use them to my advantage in every aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's talk about the info and the bio of your Twitter, man, because I mean, ass and tit worship. If
What
you
I say? I forget what I wrote.
Yeah, it's pretty much just ass and tit worship and everything that goes into it from the overall perspective. Because I wanted to bring that up because what I love about the operative words and the bio there, folks, is worship. Because I got to say, a lot of us men are breast men, a lot of us men are ass men, but at the same time, body worship has become such a kink, it's become such a preference that people love just worshiping the body of a woman within itself. And
Yeah.
from the shooting point of first and foremost, I mean, we notice it. First of all, you got beautiful, voluptuous breasts. Let's put that out there because they are. It's very much a wonderful thing that you have, much to all women. But at the same time, if you have curves, the word spins the verb, like the way you work it, no diggity, no doubt, to quote Blackstreet. If you got
Right.
it, as they say, right?
hmm Yeah. Yeah. I'm just I forget what I wrote in my Twitter bio versus because I just updated my Instagram one. So I'm like, what the hell did I write in there? I know I said humiliatrix. I know I said 36H. Can't remember. Bratty. I don't know. Something D all the above. Real to be realistic, you know.
Oh no, I mean at the end of the day, like if you incorporate, like you mentioned in your bios, like being a MILF rapper, being a humiliatrix, a
Okay,
dominatrix.
I did write that in there. Okay, bad.
Yes.
I consider myself a Wild West widow as well, but like it's only out of like irony because my ex is dead to me type shit. So I'm from the West, so it's like WW, like, you know, the Wild West Widow. That'll probably end up being a song or like an album title eventually. But
Hey, you're like Will Smith and Drew Hill, the Wild Wild West. You're taking it to the
shut
Wild.
the front door.
Oh man, but no, that's the thing too, and I can relate to that too as well because everybody goes through relationships and heartaches, but you're also applying that into your music as well. Like we talk about real and authenticity within your lyrics and what you possess. But I think at the same time, man, like you talk about that making you stronger because it, again, it showcases like where you've been in the crossroads, so you won't be lonely, to quote Bone Thugs and Harmony. But at the same time, it's the crossroads that you go through within life, and I mean, what I have to put in the forefront here is as well as, and again, like to be completely blunt with you, real shit sells and realness goes with anything that you do. If you're talking about who you are, some may like it, some may don't, but at the end of the day, you love yourself, and I can tell that within your work. And I got to say that attitude, not only is it admirable, not only is it wonderful, but just having that love for yourself, I think is a lot of people can take in and also want to realize and find their purpose in its own right, because that's what we're doing every day in life. We're just learning and refining our own purpose.
yeah, I feel like it's important for me to influence uh, people in the ways that I'm able to because I feel like I have a different take on it, deliver it in different ways. I definitely use sex to my advantage. Like that is the whole point of that sex sellout song that I have. Like that's the entire purpose of it, is to explain that yeah, I'm hot, but you don't really care. Like, I mean, you don't care about my music, is what my point is in that song,
Okay.
because I'm hot. But you're gonna care about it, and eventually you will. In turn, you will care because, like you were saying, like there's a connection between the person, the way they carry themselves, their professionalism. When you put all that together, that's what turns out to be like attractive. That's what makes people sexually attracted to you. Is not just your physical being, but your everything else, including like your spirituality as well. If I'm definitely like way more attracted to someone if they're like spiritually like in tune. You know what I mean?
I, I think the way I look at it, and first of all, I'm glad you brought the spirituality point because that was actually one of the things I wanted to bring up. So great minds think alike, ma'am. I will
Mm-hmm.
put it to you like this. I think you have to look at it from a spirituality standpoint of like God has us here for a reason. We are here to do what we have to do. We are here to hone our crafts, and He's going to be with us no matter whether it be pitfalls or just ups and downs because it's just constantly what life is. But at the end of the day, man, if you don't have God, then what do you have? You know what I'm saying? You have everything that He's been put in front of you that you're blessed with. It's up to you to use the tools to your advantage.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
And that's the beautiful thing I got to say about just God and life in itself. And I mean, we meet a lot of great people, and I've always said this: it doesn't matter for how long the conversation is. You know, you have to make the most of your time, and you also have to, no matter how it is, whether it be a simple hello or something, you never know what that person's going through, and it's a much of a be kind type of mentality that we see in life. So I mean, I think that's wonderful to put out there, but also at the same time, just being just straight true blue, if you will. And I think you do possess that. And I mean, I can't wait much more, like I said, to see where you go and put your foot forward. But I got to say, man, the mentality of having just where God takes you and everything that you've been through not only makes you a strong woman, but it makes you wonderful. So I got to put that in the forefront. Much respect on that front.
I appreciate you. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you. You have no y'all, you guys have no idea. Like really no idea. There's so much more. But it's incredible the more I think about it. Like for instance, every single place that I go to, every single person I talk to, I'm like I like to make it like I like to do it a little bit more. I like to be more connected with them. I like to make the most of a situation, of a feeling, of a moment. So for instance, to give an example of what I mean is
Mhm.
like put aside everything else that I do all day for the people I know, even people I don't know. Like I was just at the gas station right now. I went in to buy a lighter, and the dudes there are like obviously like blown. I walk into a gas station and dudes are like, women are like, you know what I mean? So dudes trip out when I go anywhere. A gas station, grocery store, they're like, who the fuck is that and why is she here? What is she doing? Why is she buying her own grocery? Like it's weird. I just look weird to people, I guess, because I'm so like extraordinary. But and then my personality on top of it. So I'm talking to this dude. I'm getting my lighter. I'm like, he's got a lighter stand full of lighters, but it's so far away. I'm like, it's too far away. I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on. And he's like, you can't see that from there. I was like, will you bring me the lighters over here? And he grabs the entire stack rack of lighters and brings them over to me because I said so. First of all, and second of all, I asked him, and I picked one. And then the guy behind him was like, don't be out there having a good time without us now." I was like, that was exactly what I was trying to do. And I mean, those dudes lit up. They were just glowing because I'm giving them just that little tad of my specialness, my little touch of magic, my little, you know, make them feel important, make them spark their life a little bit. So when they meet more people like me, they'll take advantage and take in and indulge in that feeling from someone like me. Like I like people to feel that whatever that is, I like to influence people.
It's
You know
that
what I mean?
glimmer of light. It's that spirit. It's that overall everything that you put forth within your overall being. I think from the internal aspect, I think what you put into the universe and what you manifest goes a long way. And I think the true belief of that, and to add on to your point of putting about what you put out there with what your spark and your magic, so to speak, I think it has to do with moments and memories created, but you're also doing moments and memories yet to be created. And that goes with everything that you do. So, I mean, it's inspiring through your actions and your words, and that goes a long way.
It says this. I don't know if you know that I have this here, but I have destiny is written right here. This is destiny. So
Yes.
like, at the end of the day, it's like you are a what would it be? Trying to think. You're basically like I can't think of the word I'm trying to use. destiny is like literally what decides. It's like the universe is calling. It's like there's nothing more that you can do as a being that's going to change that, other than you influencing yourself and manifesting and all that. But I mean, at the very end of the day, there is something that's already written, and that's what it is, destiny.
Oh
So I
yeah,
believe in that fully. Yeah,
I
we're
agree
here
with
to
you.
do shit. We're here to do shit at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Do
I
cool
agree.
shit. Do badass shit. You know.
I think you decide your own fate, and I'll use the word I used earlier. It's the badassery and the trajectory, so to
Excuse me.
speak, of where you go. No, you're fine. It's the badassery and trajectory of where you go on in life and what you're about. So, I mean, I
We got a
think
bunch of. I don't mean to interrupt you.
no,
We
you're
got a
fine.
bunch of bad bitches out here, but I'm a badass. That's the difference. I'm a bad motherfucker. It's just different. Like incredibly so. Incredibly every single thing I do it well, and I do it good, and I do it wholeheartedly. And so it turns out badass every single time. And I do it, and I look hot as fuck while I do it. So like that cat fighting stuff, I feel like that shit is just the next thing. It's just like right up my alley. I was like, for Halloween this last year, I was Laura Croft from Tomb Raider.
Nice.
It slayed it, dude. It was so hot. Someone thought that costume that I wore was like a made one or something. I'm like, no, I pieced those together from a thrift store. Like that shit, it looks good. So it's just me. The reason why it works so well is not just the outfit; it's because it's me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a badass. It is what it is. I'm just saying.
And don't apologize for interrupting. That's a promo right there. I got to say, if there was anything that wanted me to see that fight now, that's a fucking promo right there. I like that. I like that.
What? Which part of it? What are you talking about?
Everything. I'm just from like just
Okay.
talking. I'm a badass. I'm here to wreck motherfuckers, and just everything about this is what I do. That's a promo right there. That is
Mhm.
that's just a promo cutting right there. I like that.
It's been a lot of people. I've gotten into a couple spats, a couple real cat fights. Not that my intention is to harm anyone
Of course.
necessarily. I'd rather just make out, but I really just want to hold her down and make out with her, but that's besides the point. Um, the real cat fights I've been in my lifetime, which have been plenty, the people who have seen those cat fights, there's other times where those people and I would have gotten into it and they back down. They don't. They already know. They've seen it. They know firsthand, and they're like, "I'm good. We're gonna not fight. We're just gonna not. I'm just gonna go ahead and back down now." I was like, "Good, good, good, okay." Because they know, they can tell. I fight with my heart in anything I do, and I put my soul and heart into everything I do. So that's a powerful thing. Pain, and especially when you've gone through a lot of stuff in your life, like that stuff, like like I worry for other people. I worry for other people, physically, like worry for them if I were to take any of that and use it as my power. But the best part about it is I don't have to. I prefer to take discipline. I prefer to take like a strategic stance, like a strategic path towards it. So that's why I was saying when it comes to Fiona Ryder, uh, I'm gonna go study her moves, so I'll already know what she's going to do. She doesn't have any moves of mine to study. She's just got my mouth and my tits. So there's your promo.
I like your style. No, that everything it goes into that. And I think what I was saying, like I think we all decide our fate, and I think her fate has just been chosen with that. My goodness. But I really can't wait to see when that comes into fruition. And I think anybody who's not following you on the Twitter front definitely should, as well as your Instagram. And I'm gonna say before we do close this out, you are, my friend, a very sensual, a very beautiful, and a very vibrant spirit. And I can't wait to listen to more of your music and see more of your content. I definitely would love to have you back for a round two and just shoot the breeze like we did today. I really enjoyed your time.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Like, uh, I I really feel like Fiona Ryder. If my first cat fight was gonna be against anyone, I'm happy that it's her because she is also a badass, and she's fire as fuck. She's sexy as fuck. So make sure they follow her too. Just saying.
Fiona Ryder's Instagram and Twitter will also be in the description as well for you to check out the real Fiona Ryder on the Twitter front. Beautifully said. Okay.
Bet.
And bet, yes. And I will say this about you: whatever what you do in your music and whatever you do within your OnlyFans and your dominatrix front, one of the quotes that I love to say on this show is life is an art form and we are all applying our crafts. And you are applying your craft in amazing fashion, man.
Bet. I appreciate it. Thank you, and I agree. And
You're
vice
very
versa.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And on your front, man, you're on the Twitter, the Instagram. Where can we follow you? Promote your links, and the links will be in the description below the show. Where can we follow you?
Literally anywhere, except for to my house. I'm just kidding. You can follow me on Twitter. It's Goon for Bamboozle with no e at the end. Uh, and then like on, if you want to follow like my music, it's pretty much anything. You just Google Skandoll. You can Google it, you can YouTube it, you can Instagram it, and then we'll have the links in the bottom, of course. I don't necessarily go out of my way to advertise my OnlyFans because I don't have to, but also because I got some stalkers. And I got a lot of like family and stuff, so I keep that stuff kind of private. So if you want my OnlyFans link, you have to contact me. Just saying, so I know who is on my OnlyFans.
Fair enough. And first and foremost, I'm going to say this about those idiots. Don't be stalking people and actually be some respect. I'm going to say this right now, and I'll say this. No, and I don't mean to go on a tangent and a rant on my own doggone show, but I see this a lot. Like, when you're on OnlyFans with people, be respectful. I understand it's a very sexual side of things, and you get great content and whatnot, but be respectful to the content creators, including this one over here. Show some respect.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
I mean, but yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. Now, guys, if you want to check out the YouTube, subscribe to Mike Larkin 92 and SM Show 1 and MCL 92 and all great shows such as this one you're hearing now for On the Mic with Mike and Steve and Mike's Show, Pop Culture History Podcast, Lingerie Fighting Championships, and so much more to be coming up on the show. And Miss Skandoll, Miss Bamboozle, I gotta say, first and foremost, whatever you call yourself, you are golden, you are wonderful, and I always say this to end each and every one of my shows: beauty, strength, and dominance, the three key elements that make women the work of art that they are. And
you know what I'm saying? Yes, that is, yes. You're with all the shit. Look at that.
Hey, I thank you so much for your time, and you are a blast. Thank you.
You too. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Surfer. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it and flick it, shake it and spin it. Slap it, rock it, slap it on your knob and chewing like you're corn cobbing. Act like you're cleaning, act like you're mopping. Slurp it up till it come freshy fruit in your tongue. Squeeze it, think you need it, wanna see me, need to feel it. No Simon Says, bop it for a Skandoll sis. Shake it, move it, like you, my groupie. Popping apples on your tooth and shit. Fruit between your lips, mouth to mouth. Resuscitation trick, you're mine now.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Don't stop, first you gotta tease me, rub me right. Touch me before you dig me down, won't put up a fight. Handheld toys giving me joy. Move your hands fast, don't fumble, no pass. Not to play it solo, oh no, right? Another man let you down, no shit, bitch. These men are all so dumb. Desperate and whacked, they're denied, they're mad. I just want mine first, baby. You gon' get yours last, maybe.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, lick it, shake it, spin it.
Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it. Pop it, twist it, pull it, flick it, shake it, spin it.
Do three at a time, solo, party, one-on-one. One-on-one. One-on-one.
3 at a time, my kind of crime. We can solo, you lame, no, 2 at a time, that's what I like.